Alrighty YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and in today's video we're going to be trying something that I've always wanted to try, or I've at least always wanted in Nikke, and that's essentially where I could create a team where I have only one burst 3 unit and I'm just recycling a 40-second cooldown burst skill with one burst 3 unit. And with Modernia it is actually possible in this game, and it might be even more efficient with Helm. I'm not really sure on the testing there, but I think I am able to do it with Modernia. So I haven't actually tested this team out myself yet. I put it together, but I am going to see, you guys are going to see my initial reaction to see if this works, right? But I was thinking, right? The thing is, Modernia's burst skill is a 40-second cooldown. Before we get into all of this, subscribe and like, and also follow my Twitter. I don't know why I keep saying that, but Modernia's burst skill is a 40-second cooldown, all right, that lasts for 15 seconds. And 15 minus 40, or 40, I guess, minus 15 is 25, right? So I feel like since it's 25, in order for us to be able to spam the burst with Modernia, we have to lower the burst cooldown by 5 seconds. And I think we are able to do that right now, even without Helm, right? Obviously, when Helm comes out, we're going to be live at Reset today. When this video comes out, we'll be live at Reset if you want to see testing and stuff like that for Helm. But with this team, we should be able to just be able to spam Modernia's burst skill, right? Because remember, the moment you use the burst skill, the timer goes down for the cooldown. So if it lasts for 15 seconds, that's guaranteed 15 seconds off, right? And then essentially we have all these characters who actually do lower burst skill cooldown. So of course, when you enter a full burst, later is going to lower the cooldown by, for the first time, 2.34 seconds. Let me pull up a calculator. So yeah, later is going to lower it by 2.34 seconds, and then we're going to add that by, of course, litters, which is so plus 1.82 seconds, plus Dorothy's, which when she lands the last bullet, right, she actually does decrease the burst skill by 1.56 seconds. And then, of course, that's already 5 seconds there. But just to make sure that we have it on top, we're going to add, what's her name? Volume. And then that's also an additional 2.34, right? So that's a total of 8 seconds this cooldown is getting reduced by. And that's more than enough time for us to re-enter a burst skill and be able to spam Modernia's burst skill, right? So we're going to use Modernia's burst skill, and then when her burst skill is done, we should be, especially the first time we enter a full burst, it should be on a cooldown still, most likely, but it's gonna be, so you see how you have like 10 seconds to use a burst skill before it runs away? She should be under that 10 seconds, and then I think from the second and third time it's just gonna guarantee to always refresh, because remember, everything stacks. So let's see, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let's try to get 30 likes on this video. If this works, this is gonna be very interesting, right? This is not a team that people really will run, but it's like, I want to see if it is possible. I've never really thought about it until like I was thinking about all the value that you would get from Helm's burst skill yesterday, right? So right now we just entered our first full burst, right? So this lasts for 15 seconds. By the time this is done, the cooldown of Modernia's burst skill should already be at 25 seconds, right? Every time, you know, Dorothy lands the last bullet, we will be decreasing it even more. So remember, that's just more burst skill reduction there. And then let's see, are we gonna be able to use it again? So yeah, it's under a cooldown right now, but we are able to use it before the burst 3 ends. So we are able to spam Modernia's burst skill and literally only use Modernia's burst skill, right? We are able to do it with Modernia. And then after this point, the second time, well, this is the second time we enter a full burst. Now the third time, it should just guaranteed be there. There shouldn't be a timer because it all stacks, right? The first, second, and third time all stacks. And there's like 3, yeah. So we literally created a spammable Modernia, right? She's the only burst 3 on the team, and we are spamming her burst skill. And we're doing pretty good, right? Modernia already herself hits very hard in shooting range. So you can see over 100 million on auto. With this team, it's pretty nice, but it does work, right? And then again, you could always replace like one of these characters with, of course, what's her name? Helm. But yeah, this is fantastic. This really works so well. And she ended up getting 83 million. But yeah, with a comp like this, you can actually just only have one burst 3 unit on the team. And that's very, very cool, right? Because I think when we get more characters who have the cooldown reduction, but even at a higher number, so maybe like 3 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds, it's going to be a lot more easier, right? Now, let me try this with a character who doesn't have, like, because Modernia gives herself 5 extra seconds, right? Let me try with someone like Anise where, well, actually, let me try with Anise and then see if it could work with someone like her who doesn't have 15 seconds of a burst skill, right? I don't think we will. I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see, if anything. Burst generation is slow with this team, or it's slower with this team, so it will actually probably work out if the burst generation is really that slow, right? So now, this is a 10-second burst cooldown. But again, burst generation with this team is slow. So that's 30 seconds on the clock now for Anise's burst skill. By the time, we just need like 5 seconds to pass, which I believe 5 seconds did pass, right? So Anise should be, okay, yeah, so it's just almost, it's like literally 1 second gap. It's like a 1 second gap. But yeah, literally, because we lowered it even more with Dorothy there. That was pretty nice. So yeah, it is possible, right? You could only have one burst 3 unit with a comp like this, right? And it wouldn't, like, I mean, obviously it's not something you're going to want to run, but it is possible. I didn't think it would be, honestly, to ever have like one burst 3 unit. So Modernia is probably like the best person to use if you ever try to run one of these comps, right? We're gonna test something like this when Helm comes out, like I said, on live today. Catch me on live at Reset. But for a comp like this to work with this type of team, it's pretty good. I think we just need probably a bit more hard hitting burst 1s and 2s in the game. I don't expect burst 1s and 2s to like hit that hard, but if we get a bit more in the game, we're definitely going to probably be able to run comps like this, right? But yeah, 62 million still, right? And that's what like Anise would average if we weren't using, like, if we're using her burst skill by herself and only using her burst skill, compared to if we're using her burst skill and then somebody else's burst skill, then her burst skill, like, she would average around that same number right there, or around there. It probably would have been higher because extra damage, but it's nice to know with a team like this, you can run only one burst 3, so it is doable. I never thought the, like, 1-3-1 or 2-2-1 comp, which just is one burst 3 and it's consistent, especially with Modernia, would be possible. I never really thought of it, but it does work. So maybe that's something you guys want to try, maybe more fun for you, I don't know, right? Maybe you guys have had that. I would never recommend it, obviously, but if you want to have a bit more fun playing Nikke, you could try something like this. And I think with Helm, especially when it comes to electro bosses, it's going to be even more funnier, because obviously Helm does the same thing, lowers it, and Helm is supposed to do decent damage, right? So we'll see how that works. But, well, I don't want to say decent. After seeing those numbers at like level 5 skills, I think her numbers will be okay at best, but we'll see. You guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous, subscribe, like, and then yeah, catch me live when the Helm drops. We're gonna try this out, but this is fun. This is cool. I think I like this. It was pretty nice. So yeah.